Hello everyone, my name is Elin and welcome back to another episode in Oz. Jumping straight into the video, I downloaded Axiom. Finally downloaded Axiom, had a bit of a play around with that. Essentially, my idea for Glinda's house or Glinda's castle is that it's built kind of onto/into a mountain. Now I could have used World Edit to make a mountain, but I wanted to use Axiom and actually I quite liked it. I struggled at first, but honestly, fun tool. Once I had the shape of the mountain, I knew that I wanted this part, at the very least, of Glinda's house or castle to be circular. So I used the Axiom gradient tool to get a nice gradient from smooth quartz to rose terracotta, which is a block from the Pyrite Building Blocks and Dyes mod. With that gradient, I built up half the build and then flipped it to the other side and added kind of a roof, not really a roof, just kind of a bit of a trim, I guess. And then onto the mountain. First thing I did is I made kind of the top layer moss. Moss has that lovely vibrant green color that grass just kind of doesn't have, unless you're in a specific biome. I then shaded the mountain, but I used blocks that I don't usually use. Usually I go for deep slate and tough on their own, but this time I used some concrete, also deep slate and tough, but I used cobbled deep slate rather than like the Silk Touch mined deep slate block. And I used some light grey concrete as well. I then made a path, added some foliage, and saved the schematic using a Litematica. And here we are in the Wizard of Oz world. I mean, if I put it there, I can add more buildings here and maybe behind. Kind of looks like a frog wearing a big crown, doesn't it? This is perfectly framed. Okay, actually, this is good. I do want Glinda's place to be quite big and not just this, but honestly, I don't know. I think if I put some cool mountains and stuff around this, I think this will be okay. But let me show you. I got some nice leaf litter, some nice flowers, as well as some sea pickles because I thought they added a bit of an interesting colour. Also just kind of padded it out a bit. Some bamboo for a very vibrant green. And if we come up around here, we have the front door. Now Glinda's castle has a throne room that's described as being either gold or ruby. So what I'm going to do is, my boyfriend sent me this the other day. He sent me a very cool hack and I don't remember how to do it, so I'm just going to guess. I'm going to guess how to do this. Is this gonna die? Okay, unfortunately it does die because it's out of water. Alright, I'm gonna go watch the video that he sent. Okay, so you get a zombie Nautilus. Oh, let's just build a temporary... What we can do is we can put a chandelier above, perhaps. A chandelier that very strategically covers the block in which the Nautilus will be. Tame you. Saddle. Armour. I don't want the saddle on you. What am I doing? I've done it wrong. I've immediately done it wrong. Right, get out. Your armor's gonna take damage, so let's do that. See, I'm not stupid. I know the game. I know the game. Just can't follow instructions. Okay, so we got a trapdoor. And then, oh my, need another trapdoor that I can't place. Can I piston it? I can indeed piston it. Right, I have very severe OCD, so I need this to be perfect. That doesn't look perfect to me. I'm using the X of the door to line up the pixels. I should have made this mangrove. Okay, we're redoing. I'm not incompetent. I'm actually not incompetent. I'm just really silly. Would you look at that? We have a throne. We have a throne that you can actually sit on. You can actually sit on it. Oh my god, look at me. Actually look at me. We have a throne. We have a working throne. The link for this video that my kind boyfriend sent me will of course be in the description. So, okay, so we have our block. We have our block that should hopefully... Can I see the damage? Okay, hopefully that's fine. I have never been good at building chandeliers. Oh god, it shows. It shows. Oh god. For the moment, I'm going to leave this back bit inaccessible because I honestly don't think I need to put anything in it. I think all that I want to put will be in here, which will be cool. I've made Glinda a little staff, like a little wand. I need to put a gold touch on this. I'm not entirely sure what. Maybe a sunflower. Although the witch has a sunflower. The witch has a sunflower on her crystal ball. Well, I mean, it's the same universe, so I guess it would be the same magic. Here we go. Very tiny touch of gold. I might change that, but I think this is cool. I've kindly decorated Glinda's house. Got a lovely painting. Got some resin clumps on some moss. Here, she's been writing about enchanted books. She's got some nice pillows on her sofa. This is banners, by the way. I placed the banners 2 blocks down, as you can see. Ah. Okay, so that's how I make it not dark. Okay, well, I can play around. There we go. Now this book does actually say something. However, if you would like to know what this lectern and book says, you're gonna have to download the world when the world download comes out. I don't know when that'll be. That'll be when this world is finished, and as of yet, it's not near finished. And then in Glinda's castle, apparently she has a magic room, so I think I may need to decorate this top shelf, but we'll see. But I wanted to give her a little bit of her magic room, and now I've thought of a good idea to put here. With the minimal armor resource pack, we have a crown. I could even, you know, put an armor trim on it so that it's cooler. Some nice potions here, leaning up against each other, just don't mind this bit. Yeah, it looks very nice. And then under here we also have some frog lights, so if you have some shaders on that have coloured lighting, you get a nice purple light in this room. I think this room is very cool. Now though, I need to decorate the rest of her place. Now allegedly, where Glinda lives, there's lots of red terrain, and there's the Hill of the Unfriendly Hammerhead, which is very interesting. However, I don't think I'm going to be doing red terrain. I think I'm going to keep hinting at red terrain with foliage and flowers. Perhaps I'll do a few little blocks of nylium spreading out. But I think for the most part, it's just going to kind of stay very pink and green. Sit back, relax, and enjoy this time lapse. I made a mistake. You saw it all in the time lapse, but here is a walkthrough, and yes, I'm doing this walkthrough before I've actually built everything because I don't want to forget to show you something. We have this cool little path that leads to this nice red landscape. All of this is subject to change, I say that in every video. Got a little normal waterfall, got a little red waterfall, because apparently around where Glinda lives, all the foliage and landscape is red, and there are lots of misty waterfalls and fighting trees. If we go down this windy path, you end up at the Hammerhead's village. Now, hammerheads are very small creatures. They don't have arms, which is why they don't have doors. They're also very self-sufficient. So these two houses here have their own farms, and this one has its own hay stocked up. All these houses are decorated on the inside, so if you wanted to take a peek through the windows, not that one, you can actually see stuff. Now remember, filming this before I've done everything else. Over here we have a little water tap running from this waterfall and stream here. Now I'm not going to pretend to know how water taps work. I'm sure they're very simple. I've just never looked into it. So I know this may be wrong. I know that this is heavier. This should be down. Shut up. I like this. I think this is cool. It's got an empty bucket, got a chain there because they're obviously very short. Although they don't have arms, so maybe they'd use their teeth? I don't know. Perhaps I'll play around with this, make it a little bit more accessible. I also wanted to show you that I put the wild armor trim with an amethyst trim on this helmet. Now we have an awesome purple crown. Now if I turn around from this water tap, we have a deadly desert. Now the deadly deserts do actually surround Oz, which is why it's very remote, because you cannot cross this desert without magic. These glow, by the way. This vehicle here is a magic carpet. This is one of the few ways that you can actually safely cross the deadly desert. I didn't want to put it surrounding Oz because there's a lot to surround, and also it's kind of closed off so you wouldn't see it anyway, so I thought it would be cool to have like a little nod to it here. See, we have some like quicksand bits with the noxious gas. Very cool, very barren, but honestly it's a desert, so it kind of has to be. Bordered with trees, of course. And then here we have a bit more of the red landscapes, since it is so iconic to Glinda's area, or rather Quadling Country. It's not specifically her area, but it's where her house is. So this, very similar to what we have over there. I didn't want to just keep adding a bunch of trees along the outside because I don't think it really needs them. I know this is a bit barren, but I mean, not everything is covered in nature. Then we have some more red flowers kind of leading into it, and I have added some moss carpets and some slabs and stuff to this just to kind of make it all blend a little bit better. Now with shaders, look at this view. I really like this. I did have some rose bushes coming out like here, but it just kind of blocks it. As seen earlier, there are like patches of pink flowers similar to the patches of red flowers within this forest, just to make it a little bit brighter, make it a bit more enchanted. Now I don't have the fighting trees or the azure room or anything that are in Quadling Country and Glinda's place, but I don't think it needs it. I think we have enough of a nod to the books. And again, this world is based on Frank Baum's books, not Wicked. I really do like this. I really do like this gradient. I'm very new to kind of building landscapes like this, in terms of texturing landscapes like this. Part of it is, of course, inspired by Pen from the Colourful SMP series, which I definitely recommend if you haven't seen that. I just love this. I want to show you the glowing headlights in the dark. And this is a glow trapdoor, so this also glows actually. How cool is that? This has a very bright glow. It doesn't actually light anything up. However, I think it's very cool. Just kind of like little headlights, because you'd be traveling across the desert in the night, so why not? And then this looks rather cozy at night. I don't know if it's in a time lapse, but basically I made this dense forest the same way I made the Witch's Dark Forest, which is I made a little patch of trees. I copied the schematic in Litematica, and then I flipped it, rotated it, all that stuff, and then pasted it around, kind of overlapping with each other. That's why the path is very difficult to walk through, but I really like that. Now I don't know how many people who download the world are actually going to explore this part of the map, since it's not really part of the rest of the map and it's kind of hidden, but it's a cool little feature nonetheless. Now my goal was to not have it seen from Munchkinland, and look at that. You can't see it from Munchkinland. I mean, from above, this looks cool. Unfortunately, in this shader pack, you can't see the glass. That's what it's supposed to look like. And again, I love these books. So cool. Essentially, what I wanted to do here is kind of give you a feeling for lots of different areas without kind of boring you with a massive expanse of just desert or a massive expanse of red landscape. That needs to be fixed. I just really love this view. I love how perfectly centered by accident it is, and I think it's so cute that it looks like a frog. It looks a little less like a frog now that it's a bit more disguised, but honestly that kind of adds to it. Unfortunately though, that is it for this episode. Thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe, give height points, all that good stuff, and I will see you in my next video. Goodbye.